mahal ang determinasyon at paniniwala sa pagkabit ng matamis na tagumpay. Ito ang buhay ng isang propesor na nangarap, nanalig at nagsumikap upang maabot ang mga naging sa buhay. Saksihan natin ang buhay ni Professor Ben Andres.
Ako si Ben Andres, 60 years old, at electronics engineer by profession. Actually, ang aking nagmulan ay medyo malungkot. Lumaki kami isang baryo ng Lupao, Nueva Ecija, at doon ay nakatira kami sa gitna ng bukid na kung saan pag kami pumapasok sa eskwelahan, kailangang bagtasin namin ng kabukiran, mga almost 5 kilometers, ganun. Galing ako sa broken family. Ang aking ama kasi, nasirang ama, ay isang foreman ng construction na medyo may pagka-womanizer kung saan siya madistino, nagkakaroon ng relasyon. Kaya nung medyo mapuno na yung aking nanay, hindi uwi kami sa Nueva Ecija. Kaya kami natira sa gitna ng bukid kung saan doon kami lumaki. Nung second year high school, nung namatay ang aking tunay na ama, ay nawalan na kami ng konting sustento, kung kaya't natigil din ako ng pag-aaral. 5 taon na akong hindi nag-aaral noon at gumagawa na lang din sa bukid kung ano-anong trabahong makakatulong lang sa aking nanay. Nagkaroon niya ako ng stepfather at taga San Fernando, La Union siya. At doon, maraming pwedeng pagkakitaan sa San Fernando, La Union. At ang isang naging parte ng aking buhay doon ay nung ako ipasok sa construction ng Central Bank of the Philippines bilang regular na laborer. Nagtrabaho ako sa Central Bank of the Philippines at nung matapos yung project na yun, isinama ako sa Maynila ng aking mga project engineers. Atlantic Gulf and Pacific na Central Bank project, nag-umpisa ako bilang junior carpenter, gumagawa ng mga temporary office ng mga project engineers, gumagawa ng mga scaffoldings. Kung minsan naman ay ang kasama sa aking trabaho, nagiging kantero o mason ang tawag din sa amin noon, yung mga nagsisemento. So, yun yung aking naging trabaho sa Atlantic Gulf and Pacific noon. Nung dalhin niya ako ng agent rito sa Maynila, nagpasya akong mag-aral 3rd year high school. At tinapos ko yung high school ko in 3 more years. Meron akong kaklaseng nag-invite sa akin para kumuha ng entrance exam sa PUP. Sumama ako sa kanya. Maswerte namang naipas ako, kaya nagpasya ako ang kuhanin, electronics engineering. Yun yung umpisa nun. Uwi ako ng Nueva Ecija ulit, nakigapas sa anihan para magkaroon lang ng pang-enroll sa second year. Second year college, mga around 23, ganyan na ako. Mga 23 years old na ako. At katunayan niya nun, kinakantsawan ako ng mga kaklase ko. Kasi may edad na raw ako, bakit hindi na lang vocational ang kuhanin ko? Kaya lang, parang determinado ako. Nung nasa gitna ako ng bukid, madilim, merong bumagsak na bulalakaw, yung falling star ba, at nag-wish ako.
Balang araw, magiging engineer din ako.
Kaya parang pinanghawakan ko yun na sa aking pangarap, sa aking goal sa buhay, parang pinanindigan ko na rin. Ang aking trabaho ay may kinalaman sa pag-print production ng mga instructional materials. pang electronics engineering. Dahil yung aking professor na may-ari no, kaya habang ginagawa ko, natututo rin ako. At yung medyo negatibong epekto nga, kulang ka sa tulog, na kung papasok ka as a regular student, may mga pagkakataong inaantok pa sa klase, at ang performance mo siyempre, medyo nag-degrade din. Napapabayaan yung konting mga academic requirements. Pag ganun gusto kong magkaroon ng sapat na oras sa pag-aaral, so kailangang balancing ko lahat ng aking commitment. O siyempre dito, na nakapagtapos ako dahil walang ibang eskwelahan noon na talagang makakapagtapos ka ng engineering kung hindi dahil lang sa PUP. At naging mapalad din ako na ako ang isa sa dalawang unang na-produce na engineer ng PUP. Ako yung naging unang alumnus na naging department head ng electronics engineering. Ganun din, kauna-unahan din akong naging alumnus na naging dekano ng College of Engineering. Family-oriented dahil doon. At ganun din, sa hirap sa buhay, hindi dapat maging hadlang yun para sa ating ambisyon. Sasamahan lang ng ating pagtsatsaga, susumikap, siyempre, yung ating spiritual na aspeto, huwag kakalimutan. Naakibat ko sa definition ng success. Na yung success, considered na acronym, yung S, seeing myself as a successful me. Na ako, yung U, unique, hindi ko kino-compare sa iba. So, unique as me. Pagkatapos, C, I consider C as controlling myself. Then another C for success is complying myself to be an achiever. Ganon. And yung E, I'm educating myself. Kasi sabi nga nila, learning is a continuing process. At yung S, sinasatisfy ko yung aking sarili, ano yung aking commitment, lahat ng aking commitment. At yung last S, yung sacrifice. Yun yung definition ko ng success.
Ang buhay ay tila isang malaking entrada kung saan kailangang ipakita ang pambihirang kakayanan para umani ng matatamis na pagbati at tropeyong higit pa sa material na bagay ang halaga. Yan ang pinatunayan ng kwento ng buhay ni Professor Ben Andres.
Welcome to the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, the country's first Polytechnic U. PUP is a state-run university governed by the Republic Act 8292, known as the Higher Education Modernization Act of 1997, and its implementing rules and regulations contained in the Commission on Higher Education Memorandum Circular No. 4, Series of 1997. It is home to more than 70,000 students, making it the largest state university in the Philippines in terms of student population. It is the university's commitment to give qualified and talented students access to quality and responsive education to aid them in the achievement of their dreams and the improvement of their lives. True to its commitment of making education accessible to all, the university has strategically established campuses and branches all over Luzon. PUP boasts of its roster of 1,483 full-time and part-time faculty members and 707 administrative employees. The faculty members and employees perform the collective goal of training, servicing, and supporting the university's stakeholders. From its humble beginnings in 1904, PUP was originally established as the Manila Business School primarily for the training of personnel for government service and to provide skills needed for private employment. 4 years later, the Manila Business School was renamed Philippine School of Commerce or PSC and merged with the Philippine Normal School from 1933 to 1946. Through the virtue of Republic Act 778, PSC was renamed to Philippine College of Commerce or PCC in 1952. In April 1, 1978, PCC was converted into a chartered state university now known as the Polytechnic University of the Philippines by virtue of Presidential Decree Number 1341. PUP truly has come a long way from a business school to a premier polytechnic university, the very first in the country. Every year, around 50,000 graduating high school students, mostly from economically challenged families, take the Polytechnic University of the Philippines College Entrance Test or PUP set and hope to become one of the 10,000 who will be given a chance to be new PUPians. At present, the university offers more than 80 programs in the graduate and undergraduate levels with its strategic direction of making the colleges vertically articulated. Graduate School, College of Accountancy and Finance, College of Arts and Letters, College of Architecture and Fine Arts, College of Business Administration, College of Communication, College of Computer and Information Sciences, College of Education, College of Engineering, College of Law, College of Political Science and Public Administration, College of Social Sciences and Development, College of Science, College of Tourism, Hospitality and Transportation Management, College of Human Kinetics, Institute of Technology. PUP further strengthens its open university system through expanded tertiary education equivalency and accreditation program and the non-traditional system program, It caters to borderless educational system that aims to reach many learners as possible. For more than a century of existence, countless outstanding achievements have raised PUP to the level of a national comprehensive university. With a vision to transform the university into an epistemic community, PUP subscribes to the idea that a university should have an extensive research and extension development culture. Each year, PUP surpasses national passing rate in licensure examinations and ranks among the top in different academic disciplines. PUP has also institutionalized academic exchange and international cooperation with various countries all over the world through its Office of International Affairs. Today, PUP is relishing its successes and its students are enjoying unprecedented academic opportunities. An enhanced campus environment, upgraded colleges, state-of-the-art technology, and nationally and internationally recognized programs. It has gone far from what it was more than a century ago. This is mainly due to the support given by the government, the PUP community, and its benefactors. With the combined efforts, PUP will continue to be a partner in nation building and in poverty alleviation for the marginalized sector of the society, with quality, responsive, and relevant education as a tool. PUP, the country's first polytechnic youth.
Allow me to share with you my vision for the university. I envision PUP to become the pioneering and leading national polytechnic university in the 21st century. With a national polytechnic university status, it will bring more opportunities for the university to further strengthen its academic programs and improve organizational performance as an institution for higher education. In pursuit for this vision, my mission for PUP is for it to recognize its catalytic role for national development. PUP will ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities through a re-engineered polytechnic education. By re-engineering, we look into the existing processes and programs in order to achieve higher quality of academic programs and services following the principles of effectiveness and efficiency. With this mission in mind, I have formulated 10 pillars as my reform agenda for the university. Pillar 1, Dynamic, Transformational, and Responsible Leadership. Empower academic and administrative leaders by following the core principles of good governance to create collective growth and unity. Here I would like to highlight an innovation by introducing the development of an integrity management plan to assess, plan, and implement anti-corruption strategies that will secure the institution against corruption and abuse. Likewise, asset management and resource generation will be aggressively pursued to ensure productivity and finance the implementation of the plans and projects for the university. Pillar 2, Responsive and Innovative Curricula and Instruction. We aim to provide world-class polytechnic education that responds to national and global needs by developing intellectually challenging curricula and design academic programs that are based on industry demands to provide the learners with adequate and relevant competencies and skills and prepare them for a successful and rewarding careers. In a rapidly changing world, we recognize the paradigm shift in curriculum to outcome-based education with lifelong learning approach. Pillar 2 also sits on the framework of internationalization of Philippine higher education through transnational education by promoting academic mobility among faculty and students and global dimension into the curricula and teaching process. Pillar 3, Enabling and Productive Learning Environment. Following education in Industry 4.0, we aim to increase and enhance the use of new technology to enable student learning and engagement, as well as advanced teaching process and methodology through new and state-of-the-art facilities that will support the overall learning and teaching experience in the university. Pillar 3 likewise includes campus development and the provision of conducive learning centers and facilities for students and faculty. Pillar 4, Holistic Student Development and Engagement. We will empower students as well as rounded learners and active young leaders as we open opportunities for various academic mobility and venues for honing skills and personal development, being the principal stakeholder of the university. Recognize academic freedom as a form of self-expression and a platform to showcase students' intellect, skills, and creativity. Pillar 5, Empowered Faculty Members and Employees. Likewise, we are looking into the holistic development of our faculty and employees as productive, competent, and experts in their respective fields. We will encourage our faculty roster through formal education, capacity building, research and extension initiatives, faculty immersion, and other academic engagements, both local and abroad. We will ensure that both our faculty and employees will have a vibrant career development path as public servants in this state university. Pillar 6. Vigorous research production and utilization. We will continue to strengthen the research culture in the university by promoting discovery and innovation through increasing disciplinary and collaborative research integration across academic disciplines to create new knowledge, utilize research findings, and develop innovative products. Pillar 7. Global academic standards and excellence. Achieve the highest levels of recognition in quality and compliance standards from CHED, AACUP, and other international accrediting and regulatory bodies for higher education. We will intensify our efforts to achieve and sustain better academic performance and continue to excel as a top-performing school in various professional licensure examinations and produce board top-notchers, as well as sustain our status of being the most preferred graduates of employers. Likewise, we aim to establish and to be recognized as centers of development and excellence in our academic programs. Pillar 8. Synergistic, productive strategic networks and partnerships. Synergize and forge strategic linkages and partnerships across all sectors of society and the global community in line with the overall plans and programs of the university. Establish alliance with the government, industry sector, NGOs, and the academe will lead to resource sharing, program support, and research collaborations beneficial for all. Pillar 9. Active and sustained stakeholders engagement. Harness a healthy and harmonious organization by empowering all its stakeholders, both internal and external, through open communication networks, consultative and participative undertakings, and team-building activities, recognizing that all stakeholders can greatly contribute towards the betterment of the university. Pillar 10. Sustainable social development programs and projects. Expand access to education, knowledge building, and information dissemination through sharing of expertise and resources for community development. Support inclusivity approach and education by embarking on Education on Wheels, which aims to bring access to education closer to communities, following the principle of no one will be left behind. As the University of the People, we should bring the university closer to their hearts to serve their needs and extend assistance in mainstreaming public service. Our institution must continue to stand as one for the values that we have inculcated. For the past 115 years, we have exemplified our quest for truth, excellence, equity, relevance, effectiveness, integrity, and academic freedom. Lastly, I call upon each and everyone to join me in this journey. Together we stand as one para sa sintang paaralan para sa ating bayan.
Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga kababaihan sa lipunang Pilipino. Kaisa sila sa marubdob na paghahangad ng kalayaan ng ating lahi. Kabilang sila sa paglinang ng ating makulay na sining at mayamang kultura. Kasapi sila sa pagtataguyod ng mga adhikain ng kapwa mamamayan at sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng lipunan. Katuwang sila sa pagtuklas sa mga larangan ng agham at medisina. Kapanalig sila sa pagpapairal ng batas, karapatan at katarungan para sa lahat. Kabahagi sila sa paglilingkod sa bayan at sa pagpapanatili ng demokrasyang Pilipino. Sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi nagmaliw ang kanilang pag-ibig sa ating inang bayan. Mga kababayan, ito ang alay ng mga kababaihang Pilipino para sa bayan. Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Ayaw magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa bibig mo'y buhay. Lupang hiniram, dulot ka ng pag-ibig, sa manlulupin, di ka masisigil. Sa lahat ng tulog, sa sigat at sa langit mong bahag, may ginagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawag mo'y talumpay na nabihigit, ang ituwing na araw na kailan pa may madilig. Lumalang araw ng walhati pagsika, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang higala na pag may makakamit, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Hi, I'm Engineer Florinda H. Oquindo, Director of the Alumni Relations and Career Development Office. The role of our office is to keep connections among students and alumni, provides complete range of services to students, alumni, and employers in the area of career development, graduates and professional schools preparations, employee relations, and campus recruitment. We also provide alumni and students with the tools and resources to help find success in all professional endeavors. To all freshmen, please come and visit us. Our office is located at N209 North Wing 2nd floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to everyone and welcome to BALIK SINTANG PAARALAN, the PUP Alumni Webinar Series 2023. Our event for today will surely give us a lot of learning about our topic, Core Strengths Unlocked. It is my delight to be your MC today for this informative webinar. I am Mabel B. Lagarde, and I hope you will find the program we have lined up for you to be fruitful and engaging. Allow me please to acknowledge our participants from Zoom and FB live streaming. Hello, hello. Ayan, flex ko lang ang mga participants natin from BLIS. Ayan, pwede bang makita natin? Clap reaction naman dyan para sa mga BLIS nating mga kasama dito, and also from CBA. Also, we have from BEd, BSED Math Majors. Hello, PUP ITech. Mga taga-IMO, yung mga admin staff and officials po natin, hello po. Meron din po tayo from PUP Lopez. Okay, hello po. And BSBA, mga taga-MHDPC, also from LISO, at meron din po tayong participants from NTC, National Teachers College. Isang napakagandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Meron pa po ba akong nakalimutan? Pwede pong i-type sa ating comment section po yung hindi ko nabanggit. Meron po ba? I think na-cover ko po lahat. Let me see. Okay, wala po. Okay. Again, good afternoon, everyone. So, before we continue, may I just share one of the objectives of this activity with everyone, especially sa ating participants, kasi para po sa inyo talaga ito. Bakit nga ba tayo nandito? Gaano ba ito kaimportante? Di ba? Well, maliban sa libre at may certificate, one of its objectives is to inspire you by listening to the story of success, grit, and determination of our notable alumni, so that you, our dear students, will be more motivated to continue being the best PUPian in the workplace to be or anywhere in the world. Okay? Worth it na ba na andito tayo ngayon? Worth it na ba? Like, react nga please, everyone. Kung worth it na ba na nandito tayo? Yes! Of course, di ba, Marisa from BEd? Also Nina from BLIS? Yes. Okay. To continue, I would like to know kung sino dito gusto malaman ang kanyang core strength. Hindi yung may sound effects na panira, yung ching, 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 walang ganun. Ito yung strength that develops your personality as a good citizen and as a whole. Okay? That is why this topic is very important because our speaker will discuss our core strengths, not just our core strengths, but also on how to unlock them. Interesting, right? And very timely. So let's bring it on. To kick off this afternoon's program, let us all listen to our university president delivers his opening remarks, Dr. Manuel M. Mugi.
A pleasant day to everyone, to our university executive officials, VP Tom Testor, deans and directors, department heads, AVP Floro Quindo, OJT coordinators, fellow faculty members, and to all our guest speakers, and most importantly, to our beloved students. Welcome and thank you for attending the BALIK Sintang PAARALAN activity. Thank you to ARCDO for organizing and hosting this event, which provides a great opportunity for the university to continue to engage with our alumni. Our alumni, as stakeholders, will always play a critical role in fostering a culture of excellence at our university. Their voices are very important and significant in pointing us in the right direction, being key contributors to their respective industries. And we recognize their roles as our university's ambassadors. I believe that our alumni are always eager to give back to their alma mater, and this webinar series provides an excellent opportunity for them to do so. Thank you to all of our alumni guest speakers for taking the time to mentor your fellow scholar ng bayan. Your many stories of tribulations and triumphs will undoubtedly inspire our students who want to follow in your footsteps and use education to achieve success. Your presence here today sends a message of hope to all PUPians that despite many limitations, it is possible to rise and that success is within reach with hard work, determination, discipline, and drive. To all of our student participants, may you be inspired and learn from our guest speakers who have already walked the path you're about to take. Listen to the valuable lessons they are about to share, ask questions, and take advantage of this opportunity to gain an understanding of the topics they will be discussing. Always remember that the first step toward achieving one's goals is to learn from others, followed by the courage to apply what you have learned in your own life. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, kaya huwag kayong matakot mangarap sapagkat kung mayroon kayong courage at saka determination and you keep on trying, I am sure na makakamit ninyo ang mga magagandang pangarap. Kagaya ng ating mga matatagumpay na alumni na magbabahagi ng kanilang mga karanasan bilang scholar ng bayan. May you, like our successful alumni, finally find the path you want to take and believe that you can be the best at it. And may you never forget the words of our PUP hymn, gagamitin ang karunungan mula sa iyo para sa bayan. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay ang Sintang Paaralan at pagpalain po tayo ng Panginoong May Kapal.
Thank you so much, President Muhi, for the heartwarming welcome remarks. So before we get started, I'm going to go through some reminders to ensure the smooth flow of our webinar. First, please note that your microphones and cameras are automatically turned off as you enter the Zoom meeting. Also, if you have questions for our speaker, please maximize the use of the chat box, which can be found at the bottom section of the screen and comment section for our participants in the FB live streaming. Make your question concise and direct. Also, by joining this activity, you agree to participate in a recorded webinar that will be posted on related platforms such as websites, social media pages, and others. Kindly have your name and what school or organization you are connected to in our Zoom meeting. Also, a digital certificate will be released 2 to 3 weeks after the conduct and be given to those who attended, participated, and completed the evaluation form at the end of the session. Lastly, kindly visit the PUP Alumni Facebook page and YouTube channel, the PUP Art.tv, and don't forget to like and share the live stream video so that other students and alumni can also learn and inspire by our webinar. I think everything is clear now and we are ready to continue to our webinar. Okay, so allow me everyone to introduce our keynote speaker for today's webinar. Our speaker, of course, is an experienced project management practitioner in the banking and finance industry. Currently, he serves as a part-time faculty in the Business Administration Department of Far Eastern University, the FEU. He is a certified associate in project management from the Project Management Institute and a Lean Six Sigma Green Belt, the LSSGB, professional honored by the Six Sigma Council. He is a master's degree holder in business management from the University of the Philippines and an undergraduate degree in broadcast communication from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, receiving academic distinction in both master's and bachelor's degree. Wow. So through the years of his experience, he has proven exceptional corporate leadership and team leading ability and was commended for a strong work ethic resulting in a track record of profitable solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our keynote speaker for today. Let us give a heart reaction to Sir Fernando C. Jabon Jr. Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Research suggests that we all have 24 strengths. Psychologists call them. They're an important part of your personality and who you are. When you know your top strengths, you can apply them in your day-to-day life to enhance your enjoyment and satisfaction in the things you do. That feeling when you're on a roll, in the flow, that tends to happen when you're using your top strengths. Playing to your strengths makes you more motivated, capable, and ready to face life's challenges. People who use their character strengths tend to be happier, more confident and resilient, have more energy, know how to deal with school stress, feel more connected to what they do, and are more likely to reach their goals. And to start playing to your strengths and building on them, first you have to know what they are. So ask yourself, what are my top strengths?
Okay, so good afternoon everybody. Let me know if I'm audible. So heart react or like naman dyan if you're hearing me. So hi, good afternoon again everyone. Welcome to our PUP Alumni Webinar Series this afternoon. And for the first leg, I'm very thrilled and excited to share about Core Strengths Unlocked for this series of discussion sa ating PUP Alumni Webinar Series. So for this afternoon, we will be talking about how can we unlock yung inner potentials natin. Because it has the following objectives like what Ms. Mavel mentioned earlier. Para this afternoon talaga mapag-usapan natin how we can really bring out yung strengths natin and use it not just for our benefit but also to add value to the people around us or to the school kung saan tayo nag-work or nag-aaral. Actually, dun sa sinabi din ni Miss Mavel kanina, just to take a step back, I am a graduate also of PUP in 2013, BA Broadcast Communication, and I'm one of the cum laude graduates of our batch in 2013. So wala na pong age reveal. So ayun, shout out kung merong mga taga College of Communication dito. All right. So it is really my privilege to take this spot to share and to give back also to my my alma mater, which is PUP. So this afternoon, one of my thrust din kasi is for me to impart something to all of you, especially sa mga students natin, on how they can discover yung inner potentials nila or yung inner potentials na meron kayo from within you. And that we will allow every, yung mga listeners natin, even sa mga nasa Facebook live stream ngayon, hello po sa inyo, to assess yung mga sarili natin on how we can, become the best version of ourselves. What is the process that we need to do? Pero hindi naman siya methodical in nature. Okay? And that at this afternoon, we will be able to nurture the right character towards success. Kasi one way, parang for the past few years, lagi lang napag-uusapan natin paano ba natin i-identify yung mga weaknesses natin. It's always easy It's always easy for us to pinpoint yung mga weaknesses natin, yung mga areas for improvements natin, but no one talked about their core strengths, 'di ba? Because for the reason na ayaw na masabihan na mayabang sila, 'di ba? Parang they don't want to sound so cocky or too confident of themselves, Kaya this afternoon, that is one of the gaps that we're trying to bridge. Now the question is this, 'di ba? How well do you know your strengths? Yan yung pag-uusapan natin this afternoon. Kasi I have to to go straight sa ating discussion, because knowing where we are good at, actually it's one of the key factors para sa growth and development natin. I remember when I was in college dito sa PUP, I've always been so confused. Saan ba ako magaling? Saan ba ako skilled? Ganyan ang alam ko, BA Broadcom ako, somatic ang notion sa amin, magaling daw ako magsalita, ganyan, magaling sa reporting and such. But far beyond that, I vaguely know that I was good at certain things, Sometimes I also avoided actually I'm one of them, na parang I avoided exploring and even articulating my strengths back in the days. Kasi yun nga, parang I don't want to sound so overconfident, too mayabang or whatnot. And that kind of fear held me back, from becoming the best version of myself when I was still a student, And it was until such a long time, nung nag-work na ako, ganyan, and all, that I learned the, how do you call this? When I learned the ability to actually name those strengths and even aiming for that strength. Kasi, everyone, I want us all to be aware na to know your strengths, to name them, and to actually fortify that strength. Especially in the workforce right now, it's really essential. Kasi syempre sa mga interviews, tatanungin ka rin naman, 'di ba? What are your strengths? Ganyan. So ano yung isasagot mo, 'di ba? So it's important na even at this point pa lang, ma-identify na talaga natin what are we really good at, 'di ba? How well do we know our strengths? And actually, meron ditong Johari window. Pwedeng na-encounter nyo na rin to sa ibang mga subjects niyo. Pero hindi ko naman siya i-discuss in detail kasi this is very tawag dito, very theoretical in nature. Johari window, actually galing siya kay Joseph Love tsaka kay Harry Ingham. So it's a combination of their names, Joseph and Harry. That's why they developed the Johari window. And makikita nyo dyan, meron siyang 4 na quadrants. Merong open area, blind area, hidden area, and unknown area. And each quadrants kasi, it represents what a person really knows about himself or herself and what others know about them. Kasi meron dyan, ano yung alam mo within yourself and what is something that you don't know about yourself. And what is those that are known by others and yung mga bagay na hindi alam ng iba tungkol sa iyo. And those are the unknown areas sa life natin, 'di ba? And the Johari window kasi actually the goal of this of this framework is for us to have a sense of self-disclosure and feedback para mag-grow tayo personally, even professionally. Actually, this is being used sa mga team building activities, sa mga offices, ganyan. And actually, this is a communication theory. I remember touching this when I was in my undergraduate. And two ideas actually by using Johari window is that it builds sense of trust with others when you disclose something about yourself, and even yung feedback ng ibang tao sa atin, we can also learn something about ourselves and how we can deal with some issues sa life natin, ganyan. It may look so complicated kasi parang may mga arrows, ganyan. Parang kung titignan mo, parang alam mo yun, it's kind of intimidating at first, but it actually goes to show na, alam mo yun, there are four areas or four quadrants ng Johari window that can also help us. Yung open area, these are the things that you know about yourself and others also know about you. Maybe alam mo na magaling kang sumayaw and others also know that for you as well, 'di ba? Meron ding blind area, 'di ba? Sa quadrant 2 natin. These are the things na alam mo in yourself na hindi ka naman aware. Yung iba these are the parts or portion about ourselves na hindi tayo aware pero yung ibang tao nakikita nila sa atin. For example, hindi mo alam na, alam mo yun, you're really good in leading but others are seeing you as a good leader, 'di ba? So yun yung parang blind spot or blind area natin. Another one, meron dito yung hidden area, 'di ba? It also represents naman yung mga natin, yung mga things na alam natin sa sarili natin but we keep it hidden from others. Pwedeng ikaw magaling ka magluto pero hindi naman pala alam ng iba, 'di ba? Parang ikaw lang yung nakakaalam. Yun yung hidden area naman sa ibang tao, which is tayo alam natin within ourselves. And there you have the unknown area. Diba? Yung unknown area, yun yung mga bagay na hindi mo alam at hindi rin naman alam ng iba tungkol sa'yo. 'Di ba? And sometimes yung large unknown area, it might be a sign of inexperience, ganyan. But it doesn't mean na dahil may unknown area ka, hindi ka na magaling. It doesn't mean na may unknown area ka, alam mo yun, you'll be stuck in there. Actually, the goal of Johari window is to actually increase yung open area natin by means of identifying yung mga personal characteristics natin, defining the goal by opening up and even asking for feedback. Kaya nga one way to we'll actually go through that, no? Kasi knowing your strengths will actually help you identify the opportunities that would be good for you. And sabi nga dito, 'di ba, applying your greatest strengths will improve your overall quality of life and help you succeed. When I was in college, nung time na mag-a-apply ako ng course sa PUP, back then kasi 3 courses yung pipiliin mo when I took PUP 2008, yes. Di ba, 2008 when I took PUP, then 2009 I enrolled for my first year in college. So, nung time na mag-apply ako, my first choice was really BS accountancy. Yes. 'Di ba? Yun po talaga yung first choice ko, BS accountancy, but it just so happened na wala nang slot sa BSA when I enrolled when I came in sa Ninoy Aquino for enlistment. So, ang ginawa ko na lang, okay, tinignan ko na lang yung mga naging choices ko. One of it, BA Broadcast Communication. Sabi ko, sige, okay, gusto ko rin naman kasi maging newscaster. May ganun sa akin. That's why I also selected that course bukod sa malapit sa pila ng BSA at that time. So, yeah, I just fall in line there. Nung time na nandun na ako sa Mascom, sabi ko parang nade-develop yata yung feel na parang ayoko magsalita in front, ganyan, ayoko mag-discuss, pero bakit ito yung pinili kong course, ganyan. Pero one thing that I also realize is that yung strengths natin, it can really be developed over time. Kasi wala naman talagang pinanganak na may born strengths na talaga 'di ba? Wala naman pinanganak na he's already, good in math, ganyan, is already good in speaking, because it's actually nurtured and developed over time. And the thing about knowing our strengths kasi, it actually helps you identify the opportunities that would be good, that would be, a good fit for you. Hindi yung we are presented with opportunities, pero alam mo yung parang kabig lang tayo ng kabig, ganyan, hanggat may opportunity, but we're already setting ourselves for downfall kasi hindi natin na-assess ng tama kung saan ba talaga dapat tayo mag-focus, 'di ba? And one way about finding our strengths is that we should know how to we should know how to also identify and even articulate yung mga strengths natin. So say for example, karamihan kasi dito mga students 'di ba? kapag tinanong ka ng future employer mo or maybe in your internship, when they ask you what are your strengths, di ba? It's really important for you to identify it eh. Some strength na dapat, alam mo yun, it can be value adding, it can bring impact no to the employer that you will be going to, or even to the people around you, 'di ba? And even so no, having our greater strengths or greatest strengths no, it will improve yung quality ng life natin. Kasi ano eh, if you are that someone na you can focus on your strengths, you are sabi nga eh, you are 3 times as likely to report having an excellent quality of life and are 6 times no, 6 times likely to be engaged in your job. I remember that statement when we had Gallup in one of our employee engagement in our company. So the sooner we start identifying, even you know, reflecting sa strengths natin and even growing it no, the sooner you can experience these rewards for yourself. Diba? Imagine if as early as na ma-discover mo kaagad where are you good at and what are your key strengths or core strengths, diba? It really pays a lot in the long run. But here's the thing, yung iba hindi nila kaagad na-unlock yung strengths na yon because of common blockers, diba? Meron din kasi tayong meron din kasing mga common blockers in unlocking the personal strengths, 'di ba? May mga situations or even attributes na nakakapaghinder talaga sa tao para magpunta siya dun sa part na makikita niya na talaga what his strengths are rather. One of it is complacency. Diba? The problem is, you know, it's easy to always fall out sa mental exhaustion eh. Ma-overwhelm, ma-distract, mabilis eh. Diba? And that can be a big obstacle even not just to success but even discovering yung core strengths natin. When we say being complacent or just being average or just being mediocre, yung parang so-so na lang, basta magawa na lang, 'di ba? Basta maitapos lang, mairaos lang natin 'to, yung mga ganung klaseng thinking. That actually speaks of complacency eh. Because it speaks of, you know, parang ikaw you are uncritical on the satisfaction of the current status that you have. You know, parang you don't wanna take risks anymore, 'di ba? You don't want to go beyond. That's why you just wanted to stay where you are. And the danger about complacency is that it's dangerous, 'di ba? It's dangerous because you're losing sight of the reality. And sometimes it even hurts the individual or even tayo mismo. You know, it's always easy to stay in comfort, but it's another thing to grow out of. 'Di ba? Makita natin na yung pag-go with nasa screen din natin, 'di ba? Yung going with the flow. Sometimes naririnig natin, hindi, ano lang ako, go with the flow lang, ganyan. Discover ko na lang, whatever is ahead of me. To be honest, I have that kind of thinking then, especially when I was a student. Sige, ano na lang, kung ano na lang yung masagot, sige, go na lang. Pero it's a cover-up excuse na pala because I didn't really did my part on that specific activity, 'di ba? Kung ano na lang yung magawa, ganyan, nagiging complacent na lang. We just tend to go with the flow. And I also remember, sabi, that it's only the dead fish that goes with the flow. 'Di ba? And it's kind of damaging, and it's, you know, tayo din mismo, we are missing out on opportunities, especially ahead of us if we're just always going with the flow because you don't know where that flow will take you. 'Di ba? You don't know the end part of it, ganyan. And sometimes mukha siyang madali, but sa totoo lang it's really self-destructive. If you become so complacent, you're just, you know, staying in the comfort that you have. Diba? You're just staying sa mga bagay na nakagawian mo, diba? Because being carefree and at the same time an easygoing, hindi naman siya hindi siya always bad thing. But there's actually a balance between, you know, being comfortable at the same time growing din. Diba? Kasi hindi naman most of the time will be staying in the comfort side, but we are actually taking the responsibility, no, for us to really grow and for us to really discover where we're good at. Okay, so that's another one of the common blockers natin in unlocking yung ating personal strengths, which is complacency. Another one is this, 'di ba? Imposter syndrome. Pwedeng nabasa nyo na rin to at some point. Pero there's actually a study of a psychologist named Alexander. I forgot his first name, but it's Alexander 2011 in my citation. Sabi dito, around 25 to 30% of high achievers may suffer from imposter syndrome. And around 70% of adults may experience imposterism at least once in their lifetime, research suggests. When you say imposter syndrome, you struggle with, parang you feel na you don't deserve the strength or the achievement that you've got. Feeling mo na parang you're just fooling yourself when you've achieved that. Na parang you feel na hindi ka ganun ka-competent or kasing galing na mga tao sa paligid mo, whereas you're already at the top. You're already at the top of the competition. I mean, you already know what your strengths are, but you keep on discrediting yourself, 'di ba? And it's actually a common thing right now na parang, you seeing someone na parang ang galing-galing, but he or she keeps doubting his strengths or his or her strengths and abilities. And that's what you call imposter syndrome. Na they feel na they weren't as competent or intelligent with others might think. And that soon enough will discover the truth about them. Kaya makita natin na, for us to overcome this type of sabi nga nila phenomenon daw, yung imposter syndrome, 'di ba? It involves first we have to really change yung mindset natin, 'di ba, about our own abilities and such as that. Because sometimes imposterism, they feel like they don't belong. I remember when I was in college din, sabi ko, ang gagaling magsalita ng mga klase ko. Di ba? Pero I was in BA Broadcast Communication at that time. Sabi ko kasi gusto ko lang naman maging broadcaster, gusto ko makita sa TV, ganyan. Pero kasi, nung time na nandun ako, sabi ko, ang galing nila magsalita, ang galing nila mag-report, ang galing nila mag-articulate ng thoughts nila. So parang I keep on questioning myself, di ba? Na parang, am I really good? Should I really be here? But I keep questioning myself at that time. But we have to be caught between the desire. We have to being caught by the desire to actually flourish, and even the fear of achieving that success can also be painful and paralyzing. And sometimes yun yung nagiging cause ng imposter syndrome. Yung takot to advance, yung takot to conquer something beyond, something great within themselves. Because you learn to tolerate discomfort and accept the imperfection. And that alone will help you overcome the fear that prevents other people from striving for success. So that's one thing about imposter syndrome. Another blocker in unlocking yung personal strengths natin is this: the social media superficiality. Yung superficiality ng social media na to the point na people are just basing the identity based on the number of likes, the number of reactions, the number of views. Tapos kapag wala na, halimbawa, konting likes lang, konting views lang, they tend to parang question themselves, am I really worth it? Just that it actually happens because social media sometimes if it's overused, it causes us to become the idealized version of ourselves. I'm not saying na maling gumamit ng social media, but sabi nga, 'di ba, it can be used, 'di ba, moderately, 'di ba? Makita natin na the superficiality of social media, it brings about the manipulative system that serves to add more stress to our lives. 'Di ba? Mas nako-compare na natin yung side natin to others, and yun nga sabi nga, 'di ba, nagkaaroon tayo ng misconception about perfection. Now, whatever we see in social media, we think na andun din yung strength natin, to the point na dapat ayun tayo. We keep on imposing something in our lives or within ourselves because of what we're seeing in social media. 'Di ba? Makita natin na sometimes we curate and also sabi nga manage even yung sarili natin to something that looks aesthetic to the views of others and near perfect, sabi nga, because everyone else is actually doing it. Okay? But makita natin dito na even, I remember when I was also in college, the uses and gratification theory, I clearly remember that, communication theory subject namin. That suggests na it's actually superficial obsession when it's fueled through society's active consumption of the media to satisfy their needs. Yung gratification theory, yung uses and gratification theory, na the more that they're being consumed of the social media, they feel na, okay, that's the motivation behind it. That's perfectly, arranged by the images, for social acceptance. But then, I'd like to remind us all that that doesn't stop us from trying. Kasi sometimes, if you're still not maybe at this point, you're still not convinced of how seriously or how great you are, how good you are on a certain skills, one thing that you should do is this: you have to stop comparing yourself. Comparison is actually a silent killer because you have your own attributes that can add value to the people around you. And sometimes, isa to sa, sabi nga, side effect. 'Di ba? Para siyang, medicine, but it's actually one of the side effects ng too much consumption ng social media. We tend to compare our lives to others. Na parang alam mo 'yon, you tend to compare yourself na parang bakit siya mas nauuna, bakit ako parang lagging ako. Kasi baka mamay isang tao, say for example nasa chapter 10 na pero ikaw nasa chapter 1 ka pa lang, 'di ba? I mean, there's no point of comparing ourselves to others eh. Kasi makita natin na all of us, we have this natural skill set and we have our way of coping up on how we can really develop yung strengths natin. Okay, and sa totoo lang, no, to unlock our core strengths, comparison will really be a big blocker para makita talaga natin what we are really good at. Kasi ano there's sometimes an impact when we too much compare ourselves to others. When I was still a student, I have a huge insecurity about how I look. Kasi sabi ko hindi naman ako kasing kinis kagaya ng mga kaklase ko, ganyan. Pero nung time na nangyayari sa akin, sabi ko, am I not worth it? Ano ba, dahil ba sa face value na lang lahat? Kasi minsan nakikita natin na gano'n na it's all about the what people are seeing, ganyan. But we need to maximize every strengths that we have. Kasi one way or another, meron kang galing, ngayong ibang tao wala. 'Di ba? Makita natin na there is no point of us comparing ourselves to others. It's because we really have that genuine ability. We really have that kind of genuine strengths that can also add value to the lives of others. Kaya nga yung degree ng social comparison, it's something that every individuals, everyone is really carrying out to the degree na parang yung motivation nila it's really dying down. It's because they're too consumed with too comparison with what they're seeing in social media. Okay? Kaya makita natin na it's actually one of the blockers din Bakit hindi na-unlock natin yung strength natin? Na parang dapat yung strength niya, strength ko din para it's a tie. But it's actually no way. Because we are not, we have our own abilities. We have our unique attributes that can add value to the people around us. Okay? And one of the blockers ng tawag dito, in unlocking yung ating personal strengths din is ito, the fear of failure. Na kaya pala ayaw na nating i-discover pa yung strengths natin is because we don't want to be bombarded with another level of responsibility. Ay, ayan, magaling yan magsulat. Sige, pagawa natin sa kanya. Ay, ito, magaling siya sa ganito. Let's give him that. Parang, to the point na parang we're creating an illusion na I don't want to do this because we're too afraid of failing that kind of responsibility. We're too afraid of failing. We're too afraid of, trying new things. Pero hindi ko naman sinasabi na dapat, alam mo yun, sige mag-fail lang tayo na mag-fail. I'm not really encouraging that, no? But failure is actually fatal only if you decide to quit. Okay, but the fear of failure, sabi nga it can be so strong to avoid those type of, say for example, insecurity about doing the things incorrectly. And that actually causes many people to sabotage their chances in their success. Kasi sa totoo lang, sabi nga sa nasa slide na ego, it may lead us to over-identify with failures. Because you may believe that your failures significantly inform how others see you and your fear being viewed as a failure, which is yung over-personalization. Sometimes mas na-magnify natin yung mga worries natin, yung mga doubts natin within ourselves more than the strengths that we have. Why is it always easy to magnify the weaknesses when you can always magnify your strengths? 'Di ba? Kasi if you know yourself enough, then there's no way na hindi parang masyado mong binababa yung sarili mo. You know what? May mga tao actually ang nakakausap din I always remind them na please don't be hard on yourself. Kasi yung ibang tao hindi naman sila hard sa iyo. 'Di ba? Sometimes tanggapin natin yun, baka mamaya tayo talaga yung nagiging hard sa sarili natin. Whereas people are not really seeing it that way. People are not treating us that way. Diba? It actually starts in us. Paano ba natin sisimulan sa sarili natin? We need to actually embrace every little detail ng sarili natin. Because eto nga diba? We heard a lot about being positive. Uy, maging positive ka lang. Uy, maging ganito ka lang. Okay? Sometimes we also need to to strike a balance, we need to also recognize even the negative parts ng life natin and even yung mga experiences natin kasi those are actually stepping stone para makuha natin yung success that we desire in the future so that in the same time we can unlock our strengths. Kasi I always believe na your weaknesses someday you can actually turn that into strength, the opposite side of it. 'di ba? And we need to always see it to ourselves na every time that na may na-experience tayong failure, maybe some of you here, no, baka mamaya mga students pala, 'di ba? Kanina lang parang na-budget yung professor mo sa or parang you were disappointed with your exam scores, assignments and all that. But it's okay, 'di ba? You still have another day, 'di ba? You still have another day to work it out, 'di ba? And we have to set aside our ego-driven commitment na baka kaya pala natin ginagawa yung isang bagay. It's because of it's because we are feeding our ego too much. Now, we don't want others to see us that way to the point na we're just too dependent on what others will see or on how others will perceive or see us. Okay? And every time that we have this type of, fear of failure, nawawalan tayo ng sense na mag-innovate, nawawalan tayo ng sense na mag-develop pa further on what we are really good at. Because takot tayo na mag-fail, takot tayo sa mga discouragements and all that. But there's a way on how we can really combat those things eh. So kung titignan natin parang ang negative naman na pag-uusapan natin. This is actually the reality nowadays. That some of the people, they want to settle for less because they're complacent, 'di ba? They feel unworthy of themselves, na parang lahat na lang ng nakikita sa social media yun na yung endpoint ng life nila, and even the fear of failure. And there's actually a risk when you stay in these four blockers and decide not to push forth. But actually, meron din naman tayong way. Actually, when you're saying na you wanted to quit on something, there's actually two things, 'di ba? There's actually two things. Strategic quitting versus quiet quitting. Maybe this is the first time that you heard about strategic quitting. And this afternoon, this is one key takeaway that I would want all of you to carry sa mga maybe some of the staff, alumni, or students na nandito ngayon. No? I want you to learn about this, no? Yung strategic quitting. It's about eliminating whatever is unnecessary for the sake of development. Na baka kaya pala mamaya hindi natin mailabas yung strength natin sa academics natin is because we have too much time browsing the feeds, 'di ba? Na baka kaya pala mamaya sa work hindi nagiging maayos yung performance rating natin is just the same as last year, wala man ng changes. It's because we really need to do something. We really need to exert some effort. And strategic quitting, it really talks about effort 'di ba? And all of us, we really need to consider that we need to eliminate whatever is unnecessary for us to really develop further. All right? And another side of it is yung opposite, which is yung quiet quitting. This has been a trend. I don't know if it was early last year na there are workers that try actually from an employee employment standpoint, from the professional, sa parang they're just doing the bare minimum for the sake of just simply finishing the work itself. Namata na meeting, late na pumapasok, ganyan. Then ang reason why they're doing quiet quitting is because they want to foster work-life balance, 'di ba? But makita natin na ang quiet quitting kasi it will lead you to settle for less. It will really lead you na okay, maging complacent na lang tayo on our current state and not see further. Alright? And another stuff is strategic quitting that goes beyond it. Okay? That goes beyond the strengths that we have. I think someone's audio is open, microphone, but yeah, we can keep it on mute na lang. Thank you. So there, a quiet quitting actually settles for less, and strategic quitting, that will actually push you to go beyond. And for you to discover your inner strength, baka mamaya there are parts in your life that you really need to remove or to quit doing para ma-fortify mo lalo yung strength mo, 'di ba? Parang 'di ba? Parang sa paghahalo ng semento, 'di ba? Parang hinahalo muna siya. Tinatanggal yung mga bato-bato para mas maging pino sa dulo, 'di ba? Finishing. So makita natin na it's also attributed to us. Merong portion sa life natin, or that could be may mga aspects sa life natin that we also need to also consider removing. Sometimes those that are value adding para mailabas talaga natin yung strength natin. Baka we're spending too much time na in unproductive activities, worrying about too much, 'di ba? It can do us no good in return. So better if you will quit, no, don't just quit on the fight, but you learn to quit strategically. You know what is not value adding and that does not contribute to your growth, then you can actually consider removing that in your life. Kasi sabi nga, 'di ba, sometimes if you really want to decide to develop yourself, may iiwanan ka talagang previous state eh. 'Di ba? Hindi pwede na mag-advance ka into a new chapter of your life pero may dala-dala ka pa rin from the past, 'di ba? It's not something that will work. Of course, lessons from the past, hindi talaga natin kalilimutan yan. That's why in consulting nga, they have these lessons learned kasi it's a document of what you've learned from the previous outtake, di ba? From the previous activities. And it's also important to learn from the past and not do the same mistakes again. Okay? So, strategic quitting. So, another thing, now, we have to, we need to, we need to assess ourselves with the following questions. Gaano ko ba talaga kilala yung sarili ko? Kasi baka mamaya, no, the reason why we cannot really unlock our strengths is because we don't know ourselves yet. Diba? To the point na mas kilala pa natin ibang tao kaysa sa sarili natin, di ba? But we really need to really know ourselves and what are the things that I am good at. And there's no actually there's no right or wrong answer to answer this, no. You can assess that by your own. Saan ka ba talaga magaling, 'di ba? Saan mo nakikita na nag-e-excel yung sarili mo? Where do you find your passion? And you need to empower that passion as well. And also ito, why am I doing all these things? Kasi pwedeng may strength ka. Okay? Meron kang good attributes, say for example, but why are we really doing, no? Why are we really doing all these things? Okay? So, makita natin na as we answer these questions, no, it actually births something in us. It actually births us to the next step of our life, which is yun nga, having a life of purpose din. 'Di ba? Kasi when we unleash our strength, it's not just for something na parang okay, gusto ko lang i-show off and such as that. But sometimes, no, doing things purposefully, no, actually not sometimes, most of the time, 'di ba? When we do things purposefully and the right purpose, no, makita natin na it's really unleashing our strength din eh. Okay? Kaya nga this time, no, I would like to actually share. This is one thing that I'm really excited to share, no. And I want to share the following. Etong 4 Gs of unleashing your inner greatness. Etong apat na to, I would really say during my stay sa PUP, ito yung mga bagay na natutunan ko. So, sa pagbabalik, 'di ba? Sa pagbabalik ko sa PUP, no, as I share these are some of the core values that has also been, imparted to me in my journey being a PUPian from 2009 to 2013. Kasi hindi naman din ganun naging kadali yung journey. Maybe some of you may maririnig ka, ay anong course mo? Ay ito course ko eh. BA ganito ganyan, BS ganito ganyan. Ay ang dali lang yan. Tayo mo dito sa amin, 'di ba? Yung mga ganun eh, parang may ano kagad sa courses. But you know what? Wala naman talagang madaling course sa PUP. Lahat yung pinaghihirapan. I always believe in it. All right, so 4 Gs of unleashing your inner greatness. Maybe some of you will be you're already familiar with the following, but it's actually good to be reminded time and time again. So there, first G of your inner greatness is this, yung growth mindset. The growth mindset. Hindi dapat natin siya inaalis sa self natin because growth mindset, sabi nga sa Meredith Education, it's actually, obviously, it's an academic institution in America, I believe. Ito yung formula ng education method or way of teaching ng Meredith Education. They say na it's all about strengths plus growth mindset is equals to a stronger and more resilient you. And I even remember, no, in a study of McKinsey and Company, one of the leading global consulting firms, na up to 375 million workers worldwide, they need to change roles to learn new skills by 2030. Okay? Again, ulitin ko yun, 375 million workers worldwide will need to change roles or learn new skills by 2030. Knowing how fast the society evolves and even technology, no, parang lahat may may technology factor na, lahat na ng process ini-innovate, lahat na ng process ino-automate, 'di ba? If we will be staying in our current comfort, then baka tayo yung mapag-iwanan, 'di ba? And in order for us to know our strengths, no, we really need to embrace that kind of thinking, the growth mindset. The opposite side of growth mindset is fixed mindset, wherein they always believe on a fixed mindset. No, they always believe that everything is fixed, nothing is really meant to change. It's not set to develop. It's still set on stone na, 'di ba? It's actually fixed, but when you actually embrace growth mindset, it will actually embrace you. It will actually allow you to embrace the value of continuous improvement and lifelong learning. Okay. And if we are that someone embracing that kind of mindset, which is growth mindset, we always see opportunities to grow. We always see opportunities para i-develop yung sarili natin. And in Campbell, sabi niya, strengths-based development requires a growth mindset. Yung development natin based on our strength, that requires a growth mindset. Because you already know your strengths, you already know where you're good at, but it doesn't stop there. Okay? Kasi it's good to know your strengths, it's good to identify it, it's good to name them little by little, but it doesn't really stop there kasi may kailangan ka pa rin talagang gawin to fortify that eh. Kasi pwedeng in 2015 identify mo na I'm good in news writing or blogging, say for example, pagsusulat ng articles. But if you haven't put that into practice for years now, maano siya eh. It's parang magkakaroon ng blocker din sa atin, 'di ba? Magkakaroon ng sabi nga nakakalawang yung strength kapag hindi natin siya ginagamit. So, yung ability natin to learn and be trained on new tasks, it's actually desirable, especially for the students, no. For every students to embrace the growth mindset, you always need to set that focus. No, always need to set that focus. Wag nating tawag dito, wag nating tatakbuhan yung mga subject if it's actually numerical. Kasi minsan may ganun baka mamaya sa subject na to bumagsak ako kasi di ako magaling sa math, may ganyan, 'di ba? And it's actually a common misnomer din sa mga sa amin, sa mga mass comm students na kaya daw nag-mass comm kasi hindi daw magaling sa math, ganyan. But it's actually no. Marami ding magaling na marami ding magagaling sa sa math sa mass comm, of course. From our college. So makita natin na yung growth mindset, going back to the topic, it actually takes a lot of activities para alam mo yun, ma-deal mo yung difficult situations without being overly afraid of failure. And that's actually a good thing about growth mindset because it allows you to take more risks. Okay? And when you take risks, of course, may ginagawa ka pa ring way for you to bridge that gap, because always when we have that kind of growth mindset in us, it uses a strategy which often leads to satisfaction and even success actually. And for our students, for our alumni, for our faculties and staff, makita natin na when we have the growth mindset, we always see opportunities as we always see these things, challenges, say for example, as opportunities para ma-stretch natin yung sarili natin. Okay? So whenever you see a challenge in your work or in your studies or whatever it is, 'di ba? You always see it as an opportunity para mas gumaling ka lalo. Hindi siya meant para magdusa ka or pahirapan ka. But we need to believe that kind of ability can also be cultivated. Wala namang pinanganak na may growth mindset automatic, 'di ba? Because it's actually learned through different situations. When I graduated from PUP back in 2013, I kept on asking, sabi ko, ito ba yung magiging career ko? Because my first job when I graduated from PUP, actually hindi ako sa media nag-work. Hindi ako nag-work sa mga media companies or even radio broadcasting network. Kasi hindi talaga ako nag-media work at all. Knowing that I am a BA broadcast communication graduate, hindi ako nag-work sa media industry. So my first job is as a market research professional. That was my first job. Sabi ko, makakabalik pa ba ako sa media? Ganyan. But I have a lot of things to consider at that time, 'di ba? Makita natin doon na we are always considering something. We have the ability to cultivate it over time. And when you have that growth mindset, if you work hard at it with time and practice, most things are also possible. Hindi lang tayo para nagiging positive lang most of the time, but we need to develop that mindset for us to step in the right directions. Merong strategies for us to foster that growth mindset, and one of it is to embrace lifelong learning. Learning never stops. say for example, graduate ka ng 4-year course, learning never stops. You actually learn through life. You actually learn through everything. You can take certifications, you can take short courses. Hindi lang naman yung formal degrees but even in life itself, you can really learn something because you see you see things around you or as an opportunity para mag-level up ka. Para mag-level up ka on how you see things, on how you deal with stuff, ganyan. Sometimes people don't want to push themselves further. Yun nga, balikan natin yung kanina, because of the fear of failure. And it's actually the opposite ng ng growth mindset. You don't want to try new things. You don't want to explore something about yourself because you're too afraid of what you can discover, of the responsibilities that it may entail in the future. Pero sabi nga 'di ba, with greater power comes greater responsibility. 'Di ba? Makita natin na as we unlock our core strengths, may kasama din siyang responsibility. And that responsibility is actually an honor for us. Kasi we took something na tinatakbuhan ng marami. And you're actually one of those brave souls who carry that kind of responsibility. No, makita natin na all of us parang may time na, eto pa, I remember, nung time na nagsuswimming kami, sabi ko di po talaga ako marunong lumangoy. Pero sabi ko, sige, gusto ko matuto. So matuto lumangoy, ganyan. Pero ang daming parte kasi siyempre papasukan ka ng tubig sa ilong, sa tenga, ganyan. May mga ganung factors pero makita natin na when we really want to go out of our comfort zone, that will actually give you some sort of discomfort, say for example. Pero hindi naman yung discomfort na these discomforts that we may experience by having this growth mindset is only temporary, hindi siya permanent. Siguro good for a day lang, a week, a month, 'di ba? Pero it will not stay for such a long time. It will not be permanent. Those discomfort as we grow, as we develop ourselves is only temporary. 'Di ba? And with the growth mindset, we always focus on improvement instead of worrying what other people will think of you, worrying that you may fail or whatever. Because a growth mindset, your focus, it's always to thrive on every challenges and see every failure as an evidence na alam mo yun, I have something to look forward to and I have something to conquer. And as someone na we have that kind of growth mindset, sabi ni Carol Dweck dito, she is actually the author of this principle. Sabi niya, a growth mindset is the belief that intelligence and skill can be developed through hard work. Okay? Because talents are not the same as strengths, no? In fact, yung strengths-based na development na sinasabi din natin kanina, it's all about us investing in talents to create that strength. Now, my question is this, how have you invested in your strengths? Diba? Kasi mas yung iba parang mas mabilis pang gumasta sa say for example sa food or any luxury or whatever, but it actually pays a lot when you also invest in your self development. I mean, hindi naman ako dogmatic or whatever, but it's actually one thing that worked for me. One thing that also worked for me na parang more than the material things, you aspire for learning, you aspire for growth, 'di ba? You put more energy into focusing what can you improve and how can you achieve those things with this type of mindset. Having that growth mindset, be invested with your growth. Another 4G ng ating inner greatness is this. You need to have grace, okay? You need to have grace even under all the pressure. Pwedeng narinig niyo na rin tong pwedeng niyo narinig niyo rin tong phrase na grace under pressure, no? When you say grace under pressure is that you still remain focused, you still remain calm and composed even when things are not going right, no, sa paligid mo. And the thing about grace is that you stop being hard with yourself. Na baka kaya pala hindi mo ma-unlock yung inner potential mo is because you're too hard on yourself already. Diba na parang you keep on discrediting yourself on the possible things that you can do, pero kayang-kaya mo naman, 'di ba? Masyado ka nang hihina you tend to see yourself that low because maybe nakikita mo, kaya naman nilang gawin, sige, sila na lang, 'di ba? But you are actually missing out the opportunity if you fail to accept that, 'di ba? And displaying grace under pressure, actually it's a cultivated skill Hindi siya ganoon kadali. Syempre, especially kapag ngarag na situation. You know what? my friends would tell me na sometimes ako yung pinaka-ngarag sa amin, especially kapag crunch time. Ay na si JR, mga ngarag na yan, mga ganyan. May mga ganun silang ano sa akin tag. But makita natin na to display grace under pressure, it's a cultivated skill because displaying grace under pressure, it's not something we are born knowing how to do. Okay? And having that grace under pressure, tawag dito, character, ability in us, that allows us to be more composed even in the demanding times. I remember when the lockdown happened back in 2020. Sabi ko, paano to, hindi makakalabas, 'di ba? Parang sarado yung mga tindahan, ano pa ba? Ang daming factors that you can consider. But one thing that I realized at the time, sabi ko, ako na lang nagtatrabaho sa sa family namin. My mom is not working naman na I don't have my kapatid in here kasi nasa Batangas na siya with her own family. Makita natin na kapag nandun ka sa point na life is really demanding you that much, you still need to keep yourself cool, to keep that composure in you. You know what? Hindi siya ganun kadali, but it really takes skill to do that. It really takes skills to do that. And I remember, even in my past work, hindi ko na sabihin ko anong company, no? Pero in my past work kasi I've been dealing with clients talaga face to face. Kaharap ko talaga sila. Yung iba kausap nila ko, say for example, customer service, through phone, through email, sa chatbot, ganun. Pero ako kasi I was dealing with the client face to face. And when this client came to our head office, ako yung na-assign sa kanyang office at that time, or I was a staff at that time, sorry. Ako yung na-assign na staff sa kanya to assist him on this. Yung customer galit na galit. As in face to face, galit na galit siya. Bakit ganito yung ko, ganyan. He's really complaining with his account and all that. And I was like, from the inside, sabi ko, please don't shout at me. Parang hindi ko alam gagawin ko. Di ba? Kasi, you're already at the crunch time. And kung ikaw hindi ka mag-iisip talaga ng maayos at that time, if you can think on your feet as quick as possible, then mangangarag ka talaga. You will be carried away by the situation. But the thing about this pressing situation is that, it really pays a lot to pause. The power of pause. Wag tayong mahihiya na, okay, tigil muna tayo for a time. Then what I told about that customer, okay sir, I will get back to you. You can sit here for a while. I'll resolve your concern. Labas. Paglabas, okay, hinga. Hinga tayo kasi nasigawan, ganyan. We've been dealing a lot with customers na talagang, alam mo yun, naninigaw talaga sila face to face. But sabi ko nga, buti na lang, it's one of the skills that I also, this university also taught me, to be patient. Diba? Na makita natin na composure, it makes you credible kasi. It makes you stand over others. And that is because you have the ability to control the inner urges, ganyan, to be carried away by the situation, that even in the critical moments, you seem to be still at your best. Sa mga students, di ba? Kapag malapit ng exam, may term pa nga, let me use the term, ang term is hell week, di ba? Hell week na daw, ganyan. Tapos sunod-sunod na yung midterm requirements, mga reports, ganyan. Whereas you could have done that ahead of time. Di ba? I also remind that in my students sa other university. I always tell them na para hindi kayo mag-crunch, you set your schedule, 'di ba? Para hindi siya sumabay sa mga major deliverables mo. And you also know the importance. I mean, you also take time to prioritize the activities. Know what is urgent and what is important, 'di ba? So that's how you actually do it. Sabi nga rin ni Ernest Hemingway that courage is grace under pressure. So when you have that grace under pressure, you're actually brave enough. You're actually courageous enough. Because to be strong and an effective leader, it means that you are creating conditions for not just for the people around you, but for the entire team that you have to act in a timely way and to get the right things done. That's actually a good thing about grace. Kasi or having that grace under pressure. Kasi baka mamaya meron palang may name na Grace dito, no? Hindi po kita tinatawag, but it's actually a good thing about having that grace under pressure, no? That you set the tone, you set the atmosphere to have the right condition to think clearly. Kasi kapag na-carried away ka ng stress and all that, then things will begin to really crumble down. Alright? So you show composure and grace under pressure, and that will ensure that even the people around you, they will be moving in the same direction. Okay? So growth mindset, grace. Another thing is this, grit. Ayan, di ba? Grit. Sabi ni Angela Duckworth, she actually proposed this this concept of grit. Perseverance and passion for long-term goals. 'Di ba? It's firmness of character, indomitable spirit, perseverance and passion for long-term. And another thing from James Clear, sabi niya naman dito, it's mental toughness that is built through small wins. It's the individual choices that we make on a daily basis that build our mental toughness muscle. Okay? Grit is passion and perseverance for long-term and meaningful goals. Ibig sabihin, you still keep focus. You still keep yourself passionate on the long run. You still keep persevering. You know what? When I was in my college, share ko lang po, when I enrolled in PUP, that was, 2009, 900 pesos yung tuition fee ko. And when I paid for enrollment, ang binayaran lang namin ng mom ko at the time was half lang. Sabi ko, yun kasi yung time talagang sobrang mahina yung cash flow namin as a family. Sabi ko, kalahati lang talaga yung nabayad namin. Tapos yung other half, parang paano ba namin to babayaran pa? Ganyan. Kaya nga sabi ko, it's really a good thing and I'm really blessed sa nakapasok din ako sa PUP. And the journey inside the university isn't really that easy because there's a lot of sleepless nights. Mag-review ka for midterm exam, gagawa ka ng script, magsusulat ka ng article, di ba? May production meeting, may production setup, ganyan. As in lahat, ang dami mo talagang gagawin eh. But if you have that perseverance, it helps you make the progress even when things get tough. And that is important for your future success. Kasi when you work toward your goals, when you work toward your dreams, sa totoo lang meron naman talagang obstacles, meron naman talagang setbacks eh. It doesn't mean that you unlock your core strengths. You're actually obstacle proof or parang problem proof ka na tao. There's no such thing as that. You are unlocking that core strength so that you can have the right response ahead of time, when things get tough or when the tough gets going, sabi nga eh. And from the research din ni Angela Duckworth, actually, yung grit na ginawa niya, she actually researched it and studied it na the ability to be grittier, to stick with the things that are important to us, and to bounce back even from failure, that is an essential component of success. Maybe you are that kind of person na parang you don't want to go along ayaw mo na mag-advance kasi nahirapan ka, nag-fail ka, or ayaw mo nang galingan sa studies mo kasi may narinig kang something, ganyan, nawala ka ng motivation. Same thing sa mga staff natin, maybe nawalan ka ng motivation and such as that. But we need to remind ourselves that we still need to persevere even when the tough gets going. Kasi believe it or not, there are people looking after you. Diba? And your life is actually a blessing to them then. Your life is actually a hope for these people na tinitignan ka. It's not because they're too dependent of you, but every time that they're seeing you, they're actually inspired of your life. Know what I'm saying? Kaya makita natin dito na yung grit, it's actually important driver of achievement and success. And that goes beyond what talent and intelligence can contribute. Eto marami namang sabihin na natin yung term na genius, say for example, magagaling sa tests, ganyan. Numerically, they're really good, matataas ang grades, but they don't have the grit. Pero meron din namang iba na hindi naman ganoon katataas yung grades. They don't really perform well sa exam sila, but they have the grit. They are passionate, they are persevering. Because the thing is, without that grit, talent may be nothing more than unmet potential. Because motivation is fickle, diba? Anytime you can be unmotivated, anytime you can be motivated, you can be not motivated. But the key is to still, to have that mental toughness from within you. It doesn't mean that you need to be courageous all the time, to be more talented, to be more intelligent, or to be more, eloquent among others. What you just need to do, you just have to be more consistent. When you know your strengths, be consistent with it. Stick with the daily practice that will help you fortify that further. Because mentally tough people, they develop sets of habits that help them focus on the important stuff regardless of how many obstacles. You know what? Right now po, I'm working in a managerial position, and the truth about it is that it took me 7 years before I get into that point. Hindi naman after graduation naging manager kagad ako. No. It took me years actually. 7 years to be exact, or 7 or basta yun. I know it took me 7 years after when I reach this post. But I know it's not about the position but it's also about the impact that you're bringing to the organization, to the people around you. Kasi marami naman talagang technically magagaling but the area that they're lacking is the passion and perseverance. Kasi sa totoo lang, the more na umaangat ka sa ladder ng sa corporate ladder, mas tumataas din yung level ng responsibility mo And hindi na-require na dapat magaling ka sa algebra pag tumataas na yung level ng responsibility mo. Hindi, it actually talks about our character already. Okay? So I'm not saying na hindi, kahit naman pala hindi na natin galingan sa studies. No. It's still one thing, but our character is still another thing. So we still need to strike a balance between the two. All right? So 4 key drivers ng ating for us to unleash our inner greatness. First up, we have growth mindset. Pangalawa, we have grace or grace under pressure. Pangatlo, we have grit. And the last thing that I would like to share is this. We need God in our lives. Hala, bakit pumasok to, di ba? Pero, I can teach a lot Pwede kong ituro na, hindi, attendan nyo tong course na to, dapat magaling ka dito, magaling ka sa ganyan. But actually, this one is actually the most basic Most basic pero madalas na nakakalimutan, di ba? Yung core driver natin, which is God. Because spiritual strength can help you overcome any form of hardships as well. And an inner kind of strength which builds character and allows you to discipline your mind. One thing that I'm really grateful for, when I was in PUP, mas lalo kong naging mas doon na fortify yung relationship ko with God because I was surrounded with people who pulled me in closer to my creator actually. Nung una parang sabi ko parang ayoko mag-join kasi alam ko naman yung ugali ko, parang hindi ako pang dito Yung mga linya ko pa dati, sabi ko ay ayoko diyan kasi masusunog ako. Pero hindi parang it just came at the hang of it because in the end we still need God 'di ba? When all else fails, 'di ba? We need God. We have religion or whatever, but our spiritual strength can actually carry us through And it's actually a good thing to have a spiritual community that can also improve your life. And it's one of the factors that can also, unleash your core strengths. Because a spiritual community can also improve your life. Yung spiritual connections natin, ganyan. And let me also quote that verse in the Bible. No? Sabi dyan in James chapter 1 verse 5 na if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God who gives generously to all without finding fault and it will be given to you. Diba? We can always go back to God to ask for wisdom because he actually knows everything even before we speak, diba? He actually knows it. And makita natin na having a strong spiritual outlook that will help us find meaning in life's difficult circumstances. Maybe you're that someone na parang yung spirituality is still lacking, you can always go back. You can always come back to the creator who created you, diba? And at time yung time natin to meditate, to pray, it actually helps us to be more composed to develop our inner strength. Kasi yung true identity natin, it's not ultimately based on what we've achieved, not because of the good grades, not because of the position that we have, not because of the title that we held on. Kasi sa totoo lang, even if I'm a manager but I don't have God in my life, it's still meaningless, 'di ba? But makita natin na it's all because of what God has done for us, 'di ba? May mga times maybe for sure na you felt like life has treated you so hard, but alam mo yon, God has also been so good in your life because you're not a mistake and you're always chosen and wanted by Him who loved you. I remember one parable din let me share that. Yung parable of 10 talents. Merong tatlong servants na binigyan sila ng talents, ganyan. Yung isa binigyan ng 5 na gold or 5 coins, yung isa 10 coins, yung isa 15 coins and such as that. Yung dalawa, they come back to someone who gave that coin to them and sabi, well done my good and faithful servant. Kasi minultiply whatever was given to them Pero yung isa, ang ginawa dun sa coin na binigay sa kanya, is tinago niya lang, binaon niya sa lupa. Hindi niya minultiply, 'di ba? And we are actually held accountable to it as we relate it to ourselves. Kasi may mga strengths tayo na binigay sa atin God has blessed us with strengths. You can say na wala kang strength. You can say na you're not great at something. Whereas actually, God has given you that strength. It's up to you kung paano mo talaga siya gagamitin at kung paano mo, alam mo yun, i-execute ng tama. Diba? So we should be that someone who knows how to really honor that kind of strength that we have. So these 4 G's of unleashing our inner greatness will actually, help us to carry us through in the long run. Yung growth mindset natin, yung grace, yung grit, and also God Himself. Okay? And ako mismo, no, as a PUP yan, no, itong apat na to yung tinuro sa akin ng universidad na ito. 'Di ba? Kasi in the duration, it has been a combination of ups and downs eh. Okay, I graduated cum laude, but hindi siya nakuha in just one snap lang eh. Tama? It doesn't came in just one snap because you need to develop it. You need to have that kind of perseverance to develop that through. To course through every problems, to course through every challenges. And you know what? As you unlock your inner strengths, your core strengths, hindi lang naman ikaw yung makikinabang yan eh, but even the people around you. Pwedeng yung company na papasukan mo in the future. You know what? Kwento ko lang, no? I actually have a friend. He was actually an employee back then. Nagpe-perform naman siya, okay, average, nami-meet yung quota, ganyan, minsan below, pero hindi siya yung sobrang outperformer sa company. When he was studying, hindi rin naman ganun ka-okay yung grades niya. Okay, just actually finish 4-year course, yung tawag dito, yung work niya, so lang din. And it came to a point that he quit his corporate job. Ilang months din siyang unemployed. Then we were talking about it, okay, what would be your plan now? Sabi niya, mag-establish siya ng business, ganun. Pero kung titignan mo yung background, okay, he's not really that good in his academics, ganyan. He's not really good dun sa naging former work niya. Pero magbi-business siya, 'di ba? And ako sabi ko, sige, you can do it, 'di ba? And actually, when he come to receive yung funding for the business, to cut the long story short, his business nag-flourish yung business niya actually. 'Di ba? He's now earning 6 digits more than what an employee can take. Eh. Sabi ko, nung tayo na nag-uusap kami, he actually has his own car, ganyan. I was really happy seeing his progress. Eh. Sabi ko, you already unlocked your core strengths. Kasi hindi ka pala pang empleyado eh, 'di ba? Pang businessman pala yung yung atake mo eh. And actually every time that we're talking, he closed a lot of deals, ganyan. Kaya makita natin na hindi talaga natin pwedeng i-disregard yung process natin or whatever is happening to us because one way or another, that will lead you to a great future ahead of you. You just have to be patient. You just have to be enduring in the long run. And also, these 4Gs of unleashing our inner greatness, wag natin kalilimutan to. And let me also share this, some practical applications kung paano natin ma-unlock yung core strengths natin. Kasi syempre, di ba, I share the foundations, yung current state and all that. Right now is a time for us to have some takeaway. Paano ba natin siya i-apply? First, have a self-awareness. Have an honest assessment of yourself. When you assess yourself, kasi I mean when you have that self-awareness, kasi you know yourself very well. And at the same time, it also pays a lot when you get the feedback of someone, maybe someone that is close to you. Pero mas maganda kung yung mag-feedback sa'yo yung talagang talagang straight to the point kung mag-comment so that you can really have no holds barred to improve yourself. Have a self-awareness kasi it's one of the most important qualities that you can have as a leader, as a student, as a faculty, staff, or whatnot, diba? Makita natin na there's a strong link talaga between self-awareness and high performance. We're not that someone na parang we're denying na we're good at this, we're not good at that, but to accept every little detail about us, every little detail about ourselves, that is what will unlock the core strength that is within us. Kasi para siyang deadlock. 'Di ba? Na hindi siya mabuksan hangga't walang nag-refurbish doon sa lock. And the only way for you to break that deadlock is to have first that kind of self-awareness. Another one is decision. Kasi pwedeng you already know your strengths, ganyan, you already know where you're good at, but if you haven't decided to move past from the previous activities, then it will just still stay the same. You have to decide that today is a beginning of a new story. You have to decide that always, Today is a beginning of a new story in me. Kasi sabi nga you're one step away from a totally different life. And the truth is, no one can do it for you. Diba? No one can unlock your own strengths, but it's actually you who can unlock that. You need your full conviction to go along. Okay? So, decision. That decision comes from us. Okay, makita natin yung strength natin just like my friend, di ba? Na-discover yung core strength niya and he made an action, di ba? Kung nakita mo, na-discover mo, then what will you do about it? Such as that. Okay? So we have to decide into something for us to unlock our core strengths. Another one is this, mastery. Okay? You have to stay consistent and to maintain the discipline, you have to practice your skill set. Because one thing that I also believe, strength is built through consistency. Pwede ngayon nagwa-wonder ka, ano ba, magkakaroon ba ako ng magandang trabaho in the future? Yes, you can. You definitely can. Why? Because you have your core strength. You just have to unlock it. Okay? And, sabi nga, success, it's not always about our greatness. It's always about consistency. I believe it's Dwayne Johnson who said that, but I like that when he said that statement, that success isn't always about greatness. You're seeing someone with a car, with house and lot, with 6-digit salary or whatever. Hindi naman laging ganun yung measurement ng success. It's always about being consistent even with the small habits. Na sometimes sobrang underrated. Okay? Kaya makita natin na consistent hard work, it really leads to success. Okay? You should also practice that kind of self-discipline, time management, focus, positive attitude, and even self-leadership. And that leads me to, another practical application, which is continuous improvement. You find yourself a mentor and be surrounded with the right people. When I mentioned earlier, sabi ko, one thing that I'm really grateful for sa PUP is that dito ko nakita yung mga magme-mentor talaga sa akin. And until now, kasama ko pa rin sila, di ba? So, you need to find yourself a mentor kasi, that saves you actually from 50% chances of failure, sabi nga. Yung 50% na chance, okay, it's just a learning adjustment, but to find a mentor kasi someone that you can really consider your mentor, it actually saves a lot. Okay, and be surrounded with the right people as well. You have to identify your strengths, you have to name them, and you have to concentrate in it. Pwede ngayon may na-identify ka na, okay, I'm good at this, so I need to focus on that. So go ahead. Okay, and also be coached. Okay, magpa-coach tayo, 'di ba? Magpa-mentor din tayo, such as that. Kasi it's one thing that also worked for me. Na hindi lang ako nag-stop, okay, I graduated 4 years, and I also allowed myself to be mentored by someone. Okay, so capitalize on the strength of others, and while the work is going, you use that experience that you have and as an opportunity for personal progress. And the last practical application is this: gratitude. You have to celebrate your small wins. For you to unlock your core strengths, that's one thing that you also need to consider, gratitude. Instead of being a chronic complainer, ano ba naman yan, puro na lang ganito, ano ba naman yan, sunod-sunod na. No, you need to practice having that kind of sense of gratitude in you. Kasi small wins are anything that you accomplish that aligns with your intention. They can be related to work, personal, or even professional setup, but you need to actually practice that gratitude. I remember when Thomas Alva Edison created the bulbs, the light bulb actually, to be specific. 'Di ba? He had like 10,000 attempts to create that, 'di ba? Pero ang sabi niya, one thing I recalled from that story of Thomas Alva Edison is that sabi niya, hindi talaga ako nag-fail. I just found 10,000 ways na hindi nagwo-work. 'Di ba? Parang imagine the kind of thinking, 'di ba? Sometimes it allows us to reframe our thoughts din, to really consider and to really go above our strengths, to unlock that inner strength that we have in us. Kasi sometimes it's always easy to have to see the negative, to feel negative about failing, to never celebrate about success. But celebrating your small victories can enhance your energy, and it can give you an energy booster din talaga to accomplish more and more. And sabi nga happiness and joy are two different things, but we're actually in pursuit of joy. Kasi happiness is just reliant on the material things alone, diba? On the things that you can see, that you can feel, and all that. But joy is actually different. It's actually a work on the inside. Okay, it's something within the spirit and within your heart that no one can actually grab away from you. So we actually pursue happiness when we practice gratitude in us. So when we focus too much on the end goal, it can seem too far away to get to. But I'd like us all to understand that trying not to think of it as climbing as a huge mountain, because you have to enjoy your incremental progress, and in this way you can make long-term goals. Okay, because if you plan to fail, then if you fail to plan, diba? If you fail to plan, then probably you're planning to fail. And now is the time to unlock that core strength within you. All right, so before I end my presentation, all right, so let us all watch this video muna, and I hope you would learn something from this.
According to Einstein, you are a genius. And him, and her, and, well, all of them. Einstein said everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll go through its whole life believing that it is stupid. We're all born great at something, but as we grow up, we find out all the things we're not so good at. So we spend our life feeling bad about those things, working on our weaknesses, while we take our strengths for granted. But wait, how about him? And her? And them? They focused on the one thing they were great at. They went from ordinary to extraordinary. And you can too. Your winning formula is someone else's losing formula. You have a natural way to learn, to lead, to live, to love. A natural strategy that suits you in relationships, in your work, in social media, even in the design of your day. In fact, if you do anything that feels like hard work, you're already doing the wrong thing. When you know your genius, you can get in your flow. And when you know the genius of your friends, your workmates, your boss, children, family, you can appreciate them for what they are best at. And that brings out the best in them. As for the things you're not so great at, well, there's a genius in your network waiting to do those things for you, with half the time and double the happiness. It will help you to live the life you love, and love the life you live.
I guess that will be all for this afternoon, no? On how we can unlock our core strengths. So again, it's time to break the deadlock in us and get in the zone of your comfort. So I'd also like to take this privilege, no, to invite everyone to join our growing community for Wild Suns for our students and crossover for our working professionals. So it's actually one of those stuff. One of those big factors then that influenced me a lot. No, when I was still in PUP, when I joined Wild Suns and crossover at the same time. So if you're a student, then we invite you to also join Wild Suns. If you're a working professional, we also invite you in our growing community and crossover with our working professionals at the same time. And that's it this afternoon. Oh, and that's about about the speaker. So yeah, thank you so much. We can actually connect separately if you have any questions, if you need any help. Okay, you can just simply connect with me through LinkedIn, Facebook, and through my email. And yeah, if you actually need a copy of the presentation, I would, gladly appreciate to share as well. So once again, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Thank you, PUP, and thank you, Miss Mabel.
Thank you for the plenty of food for thought, Sir JR. Ang dami kong na-realize. Gusto ko lang i-share yung tumatak sa akin, no, from the discussion. I was fascinated by the Johari window model presented by Sir JR kasi, meron pala nung model na yon na maghihimay ng inner strength natin, no. Actually, lahat ng discuss ni Sir JR, napapatango na lang ako kasi, tama. 'Di ba? Yun lang na comparison is a silent killer. Super true. Kahit yung nakatabi lang natin sa jeep madalas, no, kino-compare natin yung sarili natin sa kanila. Doon sa mga kapwa natin pasahero, simula buhok, damit, sapatos, at cellphone, lagi tayo nagko-compare. Na minsan it will lead to insecurity natin. Na parang, siya ganun, ako kasi ganito lang eh. 'Di ba? Yung mga ganun. So may realization talaga eh. Ladies, thank you so much, sir. How about our participants? May gusto bang mag-share ng kanilang takeaway sa lecture? Anyone? Raise po tayo ng hand using the raising hand icon sa ating Zoom para ma-recognize. At pwede po tayong mag-unmute para makapag-share sa atin regarding sa lecture ni Sir JR. No, ang ganda. Share ko lang yung thought ni Sir Jefferson Aguilar sa ating Zoom comment habang naghihintay tayo ng mga participants na mag-share ng kanilang takeaway. Sabi ni Sir Jefferson, why magnify your weaknesses if you can magnify your strengths? Very correct. Why deal with negativity may option naman tayo na makita ang positivity sa buhay, di ba? So another from Sir Jefferson, we already have our strengths, but it doesn't stop there. A growth mindset values continuous improvement. Set the focus, di ba? Tama. Another from Sir Jefferson, our spiritual strength can bring us to develop our inner strength. Yes, and thank you so much, Sir Jefferson, for your sharing. Let's see sa mga participants natin kung meron. Ayan, from PUP Sablayan, si Ma'am Melinda. Yes, Ma'am Melinda. Hi, good afternoon. Ayan, from Anna Marie Izzy Marabot. Very grateful. Hi, Ma'am. Yes pa, Ma'am Melinda. We can hear you na po, Ma'am Melinda.
Good afternoon po.
Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. Ayan, medyo mahina po yata yung internet dun sa Sablayan, no? Again, good afternoon po, Ma'am Melinda. Gusto ko lang po ulit basahin yung comment po ni Ma'am Ana Maria Z. Marabot. Very grateful to you, Sir JR. Thumbs up. Okay, 3 thumbs up. Also from Diadems, heart reaction. Okay, any thoughts po from our participants? Any other thoughts? Ayan. So siguro sir, yung iba ay nahihiya mag-share or yung iba nag-internalize pa ng discussion. Okay. While waiting, let's proceed to, are you sure guys? Walang mag-share pa? Heart reaction from Ma'am Lerma. Okay. Now I want to hear from you, our dear participants, about what you want to know more about our topic this afternoon, or any questions to our great speaker today. Meron ba? Meron ba ditong magtatanong? Kasi napakaganda ng discussion, no? Hinimay-himay talaga ni Sir eh. May pa-quadrant si Sir eh. Parang math rin eh, no? From BEd 31D, si Paz, thank you po for letting me realize that I really have to work on myself, for myself, and for everyone around me. Cheers to more courage and grit towards the future. Wow! Thank you! And from CBA Ronnie, it is not enough knowing your strengths. It would be better if you know more about your weaknesses for you to be able to cope up and be more mature in the near future. Yes. Okay, agree naman dyan. Okay, any other thoughts from our participants? Si Sir, ang daming nakinig at talagang sa simula hanggang natapos yung lecture nyo ay humawa kami kasi talagang interesting talaga po yung topic. Thank you so much. Meron po bang tanong from our participants? Meron po? Wala po talaga. Okay. I think everything is clear and our PUPians were inspired already and learned from your talk, Sir JR. Can we give our speaker a heart reaction for generously sharing his experiences and yung lecture niya pong na napakaganda? Heart reaction naman po dyan. Ayan, mga participants po natin there. Thank you so much. So many hearts I can see from my screen. Okay. Ayan. Thank you so much, sir. Mabuhay po kayong magagaling na alumni ng ating Sintang Paaralan PUP. So let us move on to awarding the Certificate of Appreciation to our speaker, no other than Mr. Fernando C. Jabon Jr. Let us hear what's inside the certificate. Associate Professor Jane S. Pulma, the Chief of CDPS, please do the honors.
Okay, sir. So, good afternoon, sir. Sir, hindi na ako mag-open ang camera ko, ha? Okay, so the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Office of the Vice President for Students Affairs and Services, Alumni Relations and Career Development Office, this Certificate of Appreciation is hereby given to Mr. Fernando C. Jabon Jr., Manager, Security Bank Corporation, in grateful acknowledgement of his engagement and insightful academic contribution as research speaker, imparting unparalleled knowledge and expertise on core strength unlocked during the webinar series with the title Balik Sintang Paaralan, the PUP Alumni Webinar Series held on February 25, 2023 via Zoom and Facebook live stream. Given this 25th day of January 2023 at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Santa Mesa, Manila. Signed, Engineer Florinda H. Oquindo, Director, Alumni Relation and Career Development Office. Tomas O. Testor, MPA, Vice President for Students Affairs and Services.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ma'am Jane. And also, nag-message pa lang po yung director namin, Mabel, please extend my gratitude to our speaker, Sir JR. Ayan, sir. Nasa event po kasi si Ma'am Flor ngayon, yung director po namin. So nasa labas po siya ng university. Hindi po siya makasama po sa atin ngayon. Pero yun po, nag-message po siya. Hindi niya po nakalimutan ng event natin. Again, thank you so much, sir, for inspiring us today. I would like to invite everyone to open your camera for the photo opportunity. Ayan, with Sir JR. Pa-open naman ng camera, guys. Yes. Gusto nating ipakita. Ipakita natin ang napakaganda at napapogi nating mga mukha kay Sir JR, di ba? Mga taga-PUP yan, walang kopas yan. Ayan, may mga formes. Ayan. From Sir Ronnie ng CBA, knowing your strengths would give you more encouragement, but knowing more, ayan na. kanina, weaknesses would be a stepping stone to becoming a better person. Yes. Ayan. Okay. Ayan. So, eto na po. So, I can see si Sir Christopher Ian ng MSD. Naka-open ng camera. Hello po. Good afternoon po dyan sa medical. Also ayan, ang dami pong naka-open ng camera. Si Sir Ronnie. Hi, Sir Ronnie. Kamusta pa? Okay. We have 7 panels. So, smile lang po tayo kasi hindi po natin alam kung anong panel po tayo nandoon. Hi, Ma'am Rax ng OVPAA. Hello po. Si Ma'am Raquel din po. Ma'am Raquel Salazar. Ayan. Let's keep smiling, everyone. First, gallery. 1, 2, 3. Ayan. Now to our second gallery. Let's have... Ayan. Mag-hi tayo second gallery natin. Meron tayo nandito. Naka-on ang camera ni Miss Claire. Hello, good afternoon. I can see also Chriselle Mendina. Hi. And also the BEd 21N Champagne. Hi. Champagne. Okay. 1, 2, 3 sa second panel natin. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, let's move on to our third panel. Ayan, ang daming heart reaction tong nakikita. Ito si BEd 21D Miss Ubat. Ayan. And also sa DSED MP 21N, Betco. Thank you so much. PUP CBA, Ma'am Estelita. Hi, good afternoon po. 1, 2, 3 picture, panel 3. Okay. Now let's move on to fourth panel. Si Ma'am Abilina Lupas. Hello po. Good afternoon. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much. Also si Sir Efren ng MHDPC. Hello, good afternoon. Fifth panel. Ayan, from PUP ITech, Sir Fernando. Hello po. 1, 2, 3. Picture po. Ayan, Ma'am Resilda Bragas. Hello po, good afternoon. Let's now proceed to the sixth panel. Okay, heart reaction from BEd 21D Chini. Hello, good afternoon. Also, heart reaction from Montases Alele. Hi. 1, 2, 3 picture. Okay. Our second to the last panel. Okay, BEd 21N Miss Pelagio. Hello, good afternoon. 1, 2, 3 picture. Ayan, ang haba na ng ngiti natin, no? Last panel na. 1, 2, 3 si Sir Russell Hoquenya. Hello po. Si Joey Falarco. Hello, hello. 1, 2, 3 picture. Okay, there. Again, thank you so much, participants. Also, especially to Sir JR. Hello po. Okay, to all our participants, please do not forget to answer the evaluation form posted in our chat box here in Zoom and the comment section on our FB page for you to receive your e-certificate through your email. Kindly visit the PUP Alumni Facebook page and YouTube channel, PUPARC.tv, then like and share the webinar live stream video so that other students and alumni can also be able to learn and inspire by our webinar. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our afternoon. Thank you all for making time in your busy schedules to join us here on this day. It's been our pleasure to host this event, and I hope you were inspired by our speaker. Once again, I'm Avel B. Lagarde, your moderator. God bless everyone.
PUP
Akin na pera.
Sasampay na ako.